Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 4. A day down and a lifetime to go. The couple supposedly had to go on their honeymoon, and then they took 1 hour and 55 minutes to show us clips and scenes we already saw last week and showed us 2 minutes and 35 seconds of them starting their honeymoon. You know, I'm just so sick and tired of Married at First Sight. I don't understand. I mean, they're so money hungry. You know, but I'm not going to do a live watch. I did a live watch on allegedly Janice last night. Okay. So if you was not over there, girl, run on over there after you see this video and watch the live watch we was on for a minute over there. So I'm just going to do a quick freestyle recap for those of you who didn't watch. It wasn't much, girl. We was just all sitting there like, when are they going to go on the honeymoon so the drama can start? It didn't happen. But anyways, thank you for your love and support. I am wearing my Jamaica shirt because, honey, the people went to Key West and Marla was not having it. And I'm not mad at her for not having it. Granted, it is COVID, so we have to try to stay in the country. But we all know, if you're paying attention, you're an honest person. Because, you know, some of y'all is just so terrible. You lie so much. This season is really low budget. Did you see those rings? This is the first season the couples didn't go ring shopping. Gil's ring didn't fit. How come the man ring didn't fit? It was too tiny. He was wearing it on his pinky. And those plain bands, usually the bands at least have one diamond. There's 2 rows of diamonds. But usually the ladies' ring, they usually have at least one little twinkle on it. Girl, it was the basic little bands you get at the dollar store. Okay. So let's not act, you know. Anyways, I thank you for your love and support. Thank you. Those reviews are coming in. My book, 23 Tasks Guys, and of course my journal. Thank you for the reviews. I absolutely love you. And of course, thank you for checking out my Etsy store. These shirts are on Etsy. I'm trying to post a little bit more on Instagram now. I posted the fake people on the Instagram, and you know, some of them is being emotional, you know, her fans and stuff. I don't care what y'all say, Jamie's an attention seeker, but anyways, so it was the recap, yes, last week of them going to the rooms. Everything we saw last week, they recapped it. So that was a whole hour and 55 minutes, okay? But then the couples went to meet the families, and of course, I'm going to be, not today, talking about each couple going to meet each family. I'm gonna talk about, because some people was lying. I ain't gonna call no name who was up sitting up there lying, but I'm just gonna tell you real quick what happened. Okay, so I love Bao and Johnny. I wish they work. I hope. I just love them. I love them. I agree. She's a little cuckoo. She's a little crazy with her spreadsheet. So Bao went to meet Johnny's mom and auntie and grandmother or somebody. And she looked so beautiful. You know, Vernisha, take notes. You know, how you gonna go meet somebody, mama, and you show up with no bra in a belly top? But anyways, girl, Bao was showing us how we should dress. Pay attention, ladies. It was a very nice, very pretty, very feminine dress. Even Johnny said, wow, you dressed up to go meet my parents. That's what my family, that's what you're supposed to do. And Bao, I don't have the picture now because, you know, I'm going to do the review again. Bao looked it so beautiful, extremely feminine and girly. And I absolutely adored her outfit. And so his mother, she greeted his mom, and her mom said, you can call me mommy. Oh, I absolutely love that, because she said in the Vietnamese culture, it's important how you greet your elders. See, Black Americans don't know nothing about that. Okay, just you know, and you know, I was talking to my husband this morning. We went to see check my other video I did live yesterday. We went to see one of the Underground Railroad sites in Pennsylvania. And we learned about Thaddeus Stevens, and I'm like, I was just so fascinated by him. And I don't remember if I learned about him in African American history. I believe I took 4 years of African American history. Professor Gunther, he is excellent. But so I don't remember if I learned about him because, it's just so much. But he was during that time when the Reconstruction with President Lincoln, right? And so I said I was going to look it up. Matter of fact, I already put a book in my cart. I'm going to read. And so I was telling I said it was interesting that out of 30 people, we were the only African American, people of color there. There was another young lady there. I wasn't sure what she was. She looked, but so it was like 30 people, so the group about 30 people, and we had to split up in half. So this white guy, he took half. There was nobody black over there. And then we went with the African American man because, we thought we would learn a little bit more from him. We went with the African American. And so out of 30 people, we were the only people of color there. And so this man, the what they call the people that walk you around, them people, he said his grandfather, he pulled out the green book and he said, my grandfather was a part of the green book. He said he never knew that. It was later by him researching, he found his grandfather's name. And I was saying to my husband, I said, we have a very rich history. I'm telling you, people of color, we have a very rich history, but we don't study, we don't read, we don't want to learn. Most of us, not all of us, most of them. And I was saying to Mike, it's interesting how we were the only people of color there, and I would have expected more people of color to learn a little bit more about our history, because you know what they say, if you don't know your history, you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going, right? And one of the things, even in the Bible, it talks about the elders and not moving the foundational, those landmarks of the elders, and how the elders are to teach the younger generation and how we are to the younger generation. And I know we have this thing about, we were stolen from our land. And so that's why we don't have any history, and so on and so forth. And so when Bao said that, how it is important in the Vietnamese culture, you need to greet your elders with respect. My heart just sank, and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. And I love that his mom says to her, you can call me mommy. And then the other ladies were, you can call me auntie. And I just absolutely love that. And so they talked about his dad, and the dad moved to California and so on and so forth. And I just absolutely enjoyed their little talk, and they talked about him a little bit, and I'll get more involved in that. And then he met with her family, and it was some of she's very, I don't want to use the word anal, but basically that's what it is. So on and so. But it was really cute, their conversation. I like to learn about different cultures. I'm a lover of history. I don't know if y'all can see my books over there, but a lot of those books over there on the right are history, right there, history books, African American history books. I love history. I'm a lover of history and cultures. Okay, moving along. So then we go to this one. Oh, honey. Well, I'm going to talk more in depth in this because, I can't stand liars. I could pick a liar out. But anyways, Michaela met with Zach's family, and I hated how the way the dad and the mom was talking to Zach about Michaela, about what she needs to do for Zach. It sounded like how my father was talking to my husband about what he needs to do for me. Okay, it sounded just real masculine, which kind of might have possibly explained why Zach is so soft, because it just seemed like everybody needs to protect Zach, everybody needs to have Zach back, and I was very unhappy. Another thing we found out, those messy producers, which I'm going to talk about again because they did that already. If you remember when they did this before, I will give you free books. Put it in the comments. Who remember when they did this? But Michaela's daddy died. Number one. Number two, why did y'all have it written down for her to dance with her father? You know, it's just disgusting to marry that first time producer. Just messy. But I was so glad when Zach's father got up and said, Michaela, can I dance with you? And he got up and danced with her. I loved it. So who can remember when this happened before? Messy producers. Okay, I'm gonna talk more about them. And then Zach met with Michaela's family, and of course they all love her because they don't have any men in that family, and so any man come in, child, they remind me of that couple, the family or fiance. They was just so glad to have a man in their presence. So basically, they kind of changed the tone of Michaela because they already told her she's Hurricane K. And what's the word they use? Passionate. That word was being thrown around last night with Gil, with Michaela, with Zach. So they're all very passionate. Okay, we'll talk more about this couple. Okay, let me tell you about Jose and Rachel. Let me tell you, Rachel's friend is jinky. Is that a word? First of all, the mama is crazy. Is going to tell Jose how she's messy. She don't clean up. She's working on her masters and look like that's all she's supposed to do is work on her master because it's like... Jose was like, why? It looked like a hurricane went through. Why would you tell a man that, mama? And the friend... Rachel, if you're listening to me, girl, get rid of that girl. She's not your friend. I think it was the friend. It was her sister. Because this was the same friend that was at the wedding shop with her. And I'm like, is she for real telling her, oh, he might think you're ugly? That means your friend thinks you're ugly, okay? And I was cringing when Rachel, mama, and the friend was talking to Jose. And I'm like, why would you tell that man that the girl is messy? I just didn't like it. Anyways, so then Rachel meets with Jose's family, and they were trying. The father was trying to be politically correct. They were saying that how he's very strategic, and what's the word they use? I have it written down. But he's very mindful about his finances. He writes everything down. You can see his daddy was trying not to say so much about it. And so she says, well, I'm not a very good saver. I'm not very good with money. I get in trouble with my money. And so it's kind of good. Now, my problem with that, Rachel, is are you sure you're going to be ready for Jose type of saving and his steadfast? Because he don't go out. He don't want to spend no money. Okay. So I don't know if you kind of see, I think there should be a balance. I think you should save. In our home, we make sure we tithes, even though we're home. My husband go on the computer once a month. We pay the tithes and we save and we have our investments and then we live a little bit. Okay. And so I think balance is the key today. My husband's taking the baby to Legoland just to run around and play. And then we went away from my daughter's birthday. Might go away again before the baby go back to school, might take them to the beach. So for me and my husband, it's balance. And I would not have married somebody who is a Gil or somebody who is extremely, unwise with their money. I wouldn't have done that because I can't live on the edge. Okay. I like to clock into my bank and see, oh, yes. Okay. I like to go on my investments or my retirement money and log in and say, oh, yes. Okay. But I also like to go out when I want to go out. I want to go, if I want to go buy a purse, I want to go buy a purse. I don't want nobody telling me not to spend what I'm going to spend. Okay. So I don't know if Rachel is ready for Jose type of spending. Brett and Ryan. First of all, I told you Ryan was not gonna like her. Didn't I tell y'all? And what did y'all say? Where is my judgmental? I kept the judgmental shirt down. Oh, you're being so judgmental. He's gonna love her. She's beautiful. She is beautiful. There's no question about, is Brett beautiful? But is Ryan gonna like her? No. Because it's a lot of things that makes up beauty, right? It's not just skin deep. It's your attitude, it's your It's your femininity. It's your softness and all of that stuff. And poor Brent don't have none of that. She has, and she talk too much. She talks way too much. And don't no man love no woman that talk too much. Don't like it. Okay? There's maybe a very, very small percent like Eric that likes to talk. But most men, they're not built like us. Me and you, we could spend all day talking, girl. Yeah, girl. Me and my girlfriend saying we drive home together. We talk all the way home. When me and Big Mike drive home, there's not a lot talking. Because I know how men are. They're built. Unless there's something we have to talk about, we're either listening to the music or we're listening to the news or something. But me and my girlfriends were too, because men and women are different. Okay. So I told you he wasn't going to like her. And so she went to me, his family, and girl, why she said she don't, basically she's going to be genuine, but she really don't care about her appearance. And I'm like, dumb. Why would you say something like that? Women, ladies, we must care about our appearance. You must care about how you look. Make sure your hair is pretty and you smell good. Somebody said her t-shirt was dingy. I didn't see the dingy. I'm going to rewind and look because it looked like she had on a PJ set. So you want to tell me you going on a honeymoon and you didn't run over to Marshall's, let's say Marshall's, and buy you a nice little PJ set? I love Marshalls because it's it's not all the way expensive and it's not cheap. It's right in the middle. I love Marshalls. I could spend a whole paycheck in Marshalls, okay? A lot of my stuff that I bought for myself comes from Marshalls, with my business clothes for work and so on and so on. My stuff lingerie that I bought for myself, as I got so much lingerie when I got married, girl. I still have stuff with tags, and then remember I got pregnant, and then I was nursing, and so when you're nursing and you put the thing on your nipple, it stains your clothes. So when I had the baby, I rolled up a lot of my lingerie and put them away. Just leave about 1 or 2 out. But when I have to buy something for myself, I see something like, it's usually Marshall say, you won't tell me, Brett, you was getting married to this strange man and you didn't find something nice. You wore a t-shirt with dinginess on it. And see, ladies, you need to do a little thing. You need to be subtle. Remember, I left this here because I wanted to tell you. Do y'all know I put this little flower in my hair yesterday? And do y'all know my husband talk about that thing all day? All day! One little flower. He even told Michael, look at that little flower mommy having her. Isn't she pretty? This is pretty. All day he couldn't stop talking about this little flower. It ain't but $1. I think it's $1. I think Kimberly might have gave this to me as a gift or something. All day, one little flower. So every little effort you put in fixing up yourself, it helps you. So I'm trying to understand, Brett, how you just don't care about your appearance. You just want to be genuine. Girl, what? Then, girl, she got on the plane and acted a fool. I'm going to talk about this. I want to know if they're going to show it to us, okay? Because y'all sure show us Kayla being Hurricane Kayla, but you didn't show us Brett acting crazy on the plane. But I'm going to give y'all a minute to show us. So Ryan was like, listen, if we were dating, I wouldn't even go out with you no more. Okay, so those are things y'all need to work on, ladies. If you have issues planning, I'm flying, you better get on the plane and get used to it before you meet your man, because you might be a traveler. Well, honey, Ryan met with Brett family, and Ryan ain't had no questions for the family. So here mama was like, do you have any questions? He was like, nope. You know why? He don't like her. I told y'all he wasn't going to like her. Didn't I tell you that? Y'all going to learn to listen to me. Okay, I told you Ryan was not going to like Brett. She's not soft enough. She talks too much. She's just not the type of woman I feel like he would be interested in. Guy like Ryan, I said, needed Princess Diana. Was it Messiah? Or Alyssa said Taylor Swift. So I said Ryan would be better matched with a Kate. She's very soft. She's very gentle, very feminine, very soft-spoken, and fragile. Okay, ladies, you need to be fragile, okay? He had no questions because he don't like her. I told y'all that. So, ladies, when a man is not trying to talk to you, have time for you, make time for you, he don't like you. Okay, and so he had no question because he already know this is over. He was like in his head, this is over. Okay, but I just want to remind y'all that I told y'all he wasn't gonna like her, and what did y'all do? Y'all got mad at me. Did I do all the couples? No. Brent, Gil, cheap, extremely cheap Gil and Marla. Let me tell y'all, I am Team Marla. Team Marla all the way. Okay, some of y'all thought she'll complain. That's because y'all ain't been nowhere. Okay, after you've stayed in a 5-star hotel, honey, it's hard to go down to a 3-star. Let me tell you, we stayed in this hotel in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. We had went to Philadelphia. Was it last year? No, it was the year before. The year before we went to Pennsylvania again. My husband works a lot in Pennsylvania, and so we went to this hotel. Girl, let me tell you, every time we go, I said, "Can we stay in that hotel again?" It was so nice. We had a suite. We had the big old suite. And that has the king size bed, and then it had a pull-out bed, and then my daughter has her own room and is connected. That is the nicest hotel we've stayed in, with the exception of our honeymoon. And for my husband and our honeymoon, oh my God, we had a 2-bedroom suite upstairs and downstairs. We stayed at like a casa type of hotel that was the only thing that might have been that could compare. Of course, my honeymoon was the best hotel we ever stayed in. But when we stayed in this hotel in Pennsylvania, it was the nicest hotel we've ever stayed. I mean, when you pull up, the people is standing there trying to take your bags, opening your door, and stuff like that. So a lot of people talk about Merlin complaining. No, you ain't been nowhere, baby. You ain't. Okay. Now, I think with Merla is her tone. I've been listening to her. I've been trying to see what y'all hate about her and why y'all hate her. First of all, I think a lot of y'all are jealous of her. But anyways, we're not talking about your jealous spirit. We're talking about, I think it's her tone. Okay? And Merla talks to Gil like she's talking to her girlfriends. And she's absolutely right. She said, I didn't think my honeymoon was going to be at a senior citizens resort. I thought that was so funny. And the pool, she said, is it murky? I wanted to hear the waves. I'm with you, Merla. But I think what Merla thinks, and y'all know, one thing you can say about me is I am a fair reviewer. Okay, I'm very fair. I think it's her tone. And I think she's talking to Gil like she's talking to her girlfriend. Now, Gil was just, oh my God, this is nice, because he ain't been nowhere. Gil ain't been nowhere. So, you put him in a motel, he act like it's the Ritz Hotel. Y'all ever been to the Ritz Hotel? Girl, I forgot about that. That's a nice hotel too. You put him, you put him anywhere. He's just grateful and thankful because what he said. He's not motivated by money, or money doesn't motivate him, which is why he don't have none broke, busted, disgusted, wearing run over shoes on your wedding day. But anyways, I think Merla's thing is her tone, and she talks to Gil like she talks to her girlfriend. And you should not do that, ladies. So for Gil and Merla, we're gonna learn a lot of lessons from Merlin. Ladies, a lot of lessons. Because you can't talk to the man like you talk to your girlfriends. Gil. So Merla went to meet with Gil's family. It was woman, right? He didn't have no male friends there. Girl, please. But anyways, child, basically it's also passionate, okay, which means angry. And he's broke. He got no money, child. Goodbye. Okay, and then Merla's friend, let me tell you, the men in Merla's life represented. Let me tell you what my daddy told me. Ladies, whoever you're dating and is getting serious, he needs to know the man in your life, because he needs to know there is somebody in your life that will come see about him. All right? And so I absolutely loved it. I adored the conversation. The one guy said, I've taken her under my arm as the brother, as this older brother, and then her actual biological brother said something about. I was laughing, but I definitely see what he's talking about. You go basically, I'm gonna come see about you if you hurt my sister. Basically, that's what he was saying. And saying that she's worked very hard to get her money, and he don't. I'm not motivated by money. Beware of a man that says he's not motivated by money, honey. He gonna have you living down in Lodabar. Okay, and so is that everybody? I think I got everybody right. So that's basically what it was. And then they went on the little honeymoon. They went on to Florida. I thought the little Hudson's mask was cute. And honey, Bao is cray with her what's she Excel sheet with the girl, she crazy. And then we gonna find out that Bao has text messaging on her phone from Johnny 10 years ago. Make it make sense to me. But I told y'all, I did not tell y'all, I think she had a crush on him. What did y'all? Y'all argued me down. Most women have crush on the stud. Think back to your school time. You liked the stud, you just couldn't get him. And I'm going to come back and talk about that because Johnny said in one of his videos, yeah, I saw her, but I didn't think about dating her. Okay, and then he said something else, he wasn't ready to settle down. So ladies, this is one of the things my father told me. Some men want to play. Most men want to play with you. And if they realize they can't play with you, they'll leave you alone. But most men want to play. They're not trying to marry you. Think about all the men you've been with. How many of them try to marry you? All right, I have to go. I love you. Let me know what y'all think. I'm going to come back and talk about each of these couple because I like to focus my discussion on one thing at a time and see what we can learn from it and draw out from it. I love you. Let me know what you think. Remember, my journal is on Amazon and, of course, my Etsy shop and my Redbubble, and my Teespring is below. I love you. I love you. Oh, well, I want this couple to work so bad. All right, girl, I've got to go. Check out my live watch last night on my Allegedly Janice channel. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye, guys.